Let there be light, and there was light. Okay. So we're calling on the said God, Mother Eve, the Christ Spirit, that which dwells from the root chakra, of course, to raise up to the crown chakra. So that's what we are wanting to. The crown chakra is the hair, we would say the kingdom. Of course, the kingdom could be seen, or the root of the kingdom is the base chakra, but we have the crown here. So the crown actually is very is on the same parallel, we could say, with the root chakra. Okay, so we have done quite a few, I have done quite a few exercises here. I say we because we call on waters, transparency, Mother Eve, revelation, kundalini, pineal gland, the uterus, the womb, waters, and we call on those things. So all of those things have their function in our makeup, and it's important that we begin to recognize them so we can be drawn nearer to the divine feminine. Is when we say draw nearer, is recognizing the divine feminine in us, and her function is that one of love and nurturing and fulfillment, in the sense of giving us all, equipping us with all that we need, being resourceful. So I've looked at Genesis of chapter 1, and we have seen that with the 10 entries that Mother Eve made, meaning 10 statements. When we say 10 statements, that's where it is said, and God said. So this is where we identify Mother Eve in those statements, wherever there are words spoken, because she's the one who speaks. She's the one who was the serpent in the Garden of Eden and said, well, God said to Eve, because there were many Eves, said to Eve, had God said that ye shall not eat of the fruit of knowledge of good and evil? And of course, Eve said, now something came to me, which feels like more truth in that which it didn't really matter, because it's a fictitious story. But the element of this here is Mother Eve is saying, remember, as a mother, we role play with our children. So when the child was Eve then says, oh no, God said, well, or she didn't say, oh no, but God said, ye shall not eat of the fruit. So it could be seen that, well, I can eat of it, but you can't eat of it, or something to that effect, and not knowing, for instance, that of course Mother Eve was the one who gave the commands and contracts to the other gods, to the other 13 gods. So because it's of 14 gods, and Mother Eve is the embodiment of the 13 gods. So we see it's 14 gods. This coincides with the story of Osiris, the ancient god, who was chopped in 14 pieces. It sounds really awful to even say chopped in 14 pieces, but although we know it's a mythical story. But however, these are the words that seem to, of course, have their residence within us somehow, because we use them in certain ways. Now, so we could see this is what any parent would know, that they do that with their child, you know, by getting the child to understand, well, you can really have this. And this is what Mother Eve, when we look at Genesis of chapter 1 verse 29, and it goes on, or even before then, but she's saying, behold, I have given you all things, I have given you every herb for meat, everything that have fruit, seed in itself. Now this was not saying I have given you some things. She was really interjecting there and saying, behold, I have given you all fruit bearing seed, that which have its seed in it, and so on. So basically, the fruit of knowledge and good and evil definitely had seeds, hence we are the result of those seeds, of course, which still goes on. So this is the essence of the teaching here that is important for us to understand. Now, as we said with the word said God, we see the word said equals 6. And of course, if we work with 9, do the numerical value for the word 9, it then gives us 6. Now, that's what Mother Eve wants us to understand. As the number of man, we have a responsibility to go through the 9 and come back to the 6. That is what is happening here in all each of the segments of the sacrifice table or the template. So hence that's why Mother Eve is calling us home. Now what I want to draw onto in this presentation is that the things, the 5 things, again, we see Mother Eve has her signature on everything she does. We just need to open our minds to understanding it. So basically it was on verse 1, verse 28, I think it was, where God blessed. So let's look at God blessed. B-L-E-S-S-E-D. And this is 2, 3, 5, 1, 1, 5, 4. Now let's add this together. So this is 10, 16, 19, 21. So the word bless equals 21, which is 3. And God is 8. We have done that so many times. Now when we add this together, God blessed, that equals 11. Now we have just done a series of presentations that show us, of course, like the first letter Mother Eve utters, which is L, and I call it the 11 because it's got 2 strokes, and of course this 2 strokes, which is 11, has a numerical value of 3. We have seen that when we do the numerical value for the word 3, it actually equals, so this is 5, 5, 9, 8, 2. Adding this together, 10, 29, 29, which is actually, that was the last entry in Genesis of chapter 1, where Mother Eve, where we read, and God said. So God said ends on 29. So we can see how 3 is very symbolic in the sense of where Mother Eve made her statement. Here, the first letter she uses is 3, and 3 is now showing us the last number that she used in Genesis of chapter 1. So it's the first and the last. Here we see, of course, the word let. There is 5 and there is 2. If we add 2 plus 9, that gives us 11. 1 plus 1 is 2. So we can see in the 3, here is 3, in the 3 letters here, these 3 letters, the lettings that she does, Mother Eve, is showing us that she is beginning and end right here. In the beginning, of course, the word beginning is 9, of course, but in here, let's not stray from this. And for 3, we see 11 is here. So 3 plus 2, because Mother Eve has always said, look at the first letter and the last, or the first number and the last one. So 3 plus 2 is 5. Mother Eve is making her presence felt here. Now the word beginning, B-E-G-I-N-N-I-N-G, equals 9. And the word end, E-N-D, equals 5. I'm not going to do the numbers again. When we add this together, equals 14. 1 plus 4, 1 plus 4 is 5. This is what Mother Eve wants us to see. Now she is saying that everything is double. So she is, of course, centered just like she is on the sacrifice template, but she's spreading her wings left and right, showing us how it is done. That's what Mother Eve wants to show us. Okay. Now, so we have seen the word bless, God bless. So the God of blessing here, the God bless, which is an embodiment of Mother Eve as well, but the God bless is 11. That's why, again, we see in Mother Eve's words where she says, let there be light, and there was light. The number 11 had really showed 4 times. 4 times. So that means 4 11s are 44. 44. 4 plus 4 equals 8. So Mother Eve really knows how to eat. Which is it? 8. Right here. Right here. In the first word, or in her first statement, in casting her first spell, she shows us how to get this. In the 11s. Okay. So that's the God who bless. But when and God bless them, the them here, this is them, 2, again we have 2 a here, 5 and 4. Adding this together is 29. We see how 29 is really, is that 29? It's 19, sorry, 19. 1 plus 9, which is what we are working with. So it's them. 1 plus 9. Here, 1 to 9. So basically, we only need to be concerned, in essence, with numbers 1 to 9. That's them. Okay. So, and God bless them. So we could say, we could add this 1 here, because God blessed. Let's add this. That was 11. God bless them. There's an 1. So we see this is 3. That's what we got with the word let. As we've done this, where we found that let there be light, or in the word let. So that coincides with the first letter, L-E-T, which is 3, 5, 2. So we see God bless and God bless them. It's and is really an addition of whatever. And anytime the addition, there was the one. So not using that 1, 2, 3. Even if we did, I suppose it would still show some significance, but let's not, just keep it simple here now. Now, after this, in that statement, then the statement continued by saying, and God said, and God said. So basically, this is where the confusion, it's written in a way to add confusion, but we have been able to understand the voice of Mother Eve. So then it says, and God said. So whenever there was that said, because Mother Eve was the spokesperson. So there we know that we are talking about Mother Eve right here. So 8 plus 6 is 14. Again, 14. 1 plus 4 is 5. Of course, how we know this, when we write Eve, we have 5, 4, 5. Adding this together gives us 14. So we are talking about Mother Eve here. Now, when Mother Eve spoke here in Genesis of chapter 1, verse 29, of course, 2 plus 9 is 11. There we see, we have understood that 11 is showing that things are doubling. That's where the double is coming, takes place. And Mother Eve now interjects here and says, behold, I have given you all things. This is where she interjects and says, I have given you. Basically, she was really making it clear the abundance of things that she has given us. And she goes on to say, be fruitful, R-U-I-T, let's take this off, be fruitful, multiply, and replenish. I'm not doing the ands for now. Replenish and subdue and have dominion. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. This is so important.